Today, I'll reveal the secret that killed more pirates than all naval battles and hangings combined. Imagine, your body begins to rot alive. Teeth fall out, skin covers with blisters, legs swell from gangrene. 3 months without fresh water. Months without fruits or vegetables. This isn't a description of a torture chamber. This was daily life for Caribbean pirates. And this is just one of many historical secrets we reveal on our channel. If you want to discover more fascinating facts about history's greatest survival challenges, from medieval knights to ancient Roman legionaries, subscribe now. Today you'll find out whether modern medical and nutritional knowledge could save you from what was the true pirate hell, not treasure hunts, but the battle with your own body slowly dying from what's missing.
The first and fundamental challenge, surviving the pirate ship life itself. Imagine living on a 30-meter ship with 80 other pirates in a space smaller than an average apartment living room, where every square centimeter counts and privacy doesn't exist. Seasickness isn't just a passing discomfort, it's your constant reality that can last for weeks until your body adapts to the relentless rocking. Within the first 2 weeks, your body would be attacked by sea diseases that pirates didn't even have names for, but which systematically killed more crew members than any naval battle or execution. Let's start with nutrition. Your main food would be worm-hardened hardtack biscuits that could break teeth if bitten too hard. These rock-solid bread substitutes were often soaked in seawater just to make them edible, adding salt to your already dehydrated body. Your water supply? Contaminated and foul-smelling, usually stored in wooden barrels where algae and bacteria multiplied freely. The liquid inside often contained visible organisms swimming in it, and pirates would sometimes filter it through cloth just to remove the largest contaminants. Fresh vegetables and fruits? Completely unheard of after the first week at sea. After 1 month, your teeth would begin to loosen and bleed, and after 3 months, they'd literally fall out during meals. This is scurvy in its advanced stages, caused by severe vitamin C deficiency that weakens connective tissues throughout your body. Historical ship logs show that on some pirate vessels, up to 50% of the crew perished from this single disease alone, their bodies covered in bruises and their old wounds reopening as blood vessels deteriorated. Now, about hygiene, it practically didn't exist in any modern sense. Your bed consisted of rotting deck planks, or if you were lucky, a damp hammock that swayed with the ship's violent motions. These sleeping areas were perfect breeding grounds for fleas, bed bugs, and lice that carried typhus and other deadly diseases. Your clothes remained permanently damp and salt-encrusted, since your only opportunity to dry them was to hang them on sails during rare sunny days. The smell aboard ship was so overpowering that new crew members often vomited upon their first exposure to it. Imagine 80 unwashed men, many with infected wounds and dental problems, living in a confined space under the open sky for months without any proper sanitation. The stench of unwashed bodies, rotting food waste, and the inevitable vomit from seasickness created an atmosphere that even experienced sailors sometimes found unbearable. But the psychological toll represented the ultimate challenge. Months without seeing land created a special kind of madness sailors called cabin fever. The constant fear of attack, whether from naval warships, rival pirates, or even your own crewmates planning mutiny, created perpetual anxiety. Sleep became fragmented as you took turns on watch, always expecting the cry of "sail ho!" that could mean either treasure or death. The isolation from civilization, combined with the ever-present danger of storms that could smash the ship to pieces, pushed many pirates to their mental breaking point. Historical accounts describe seasoned pirates weeping uncontrollably, having hallucinations of land, or in extreme cases, choosing suicide by jumping into shark-infested waters rather than continue the endless torment. And here's the crucial question for your modern self. Would your contemporary knowledge about nutrition, hygiene, and mental health provide any meaningful advantage in this floating hell? Could you identify edible seaweed for vitamin C, create basic water filtration systems, or maintain psychological resilience where so many hardened men failed? The answer might genuinely surprise you, revealing whether book knowledge can triumph over brutal reality.
The third critical challenge: surviving the unique social and legal system of pirate ships. While Hollywood portrays pirates as lawless anarchists, the reality was far more complex and often more dangerous. Every pirate ship operated under a strict written agreement called the Pirate Code, or Articles of Agreement, a democratic yet brutal constitution that governed everything from treasure distribution to punishment for minor infractions. Let's examine how these codes actually worked. When you joined a pirate crew, you'd be required to sign or make your mark on the ship's articles. These documents specified your share of plunder, typically 1 to 2 shares for ordinary pirates, while captains received only 1.5 shares to 2 shares, a remarkably equitable system compared to naval or merchant vessels. But this fairness came with terrifying enforcement mechanisms. The code established democratic processes where captains could be deposed by majority vote, but it also prescribed brutal punishments for violations. Stealing from the ship's common treasure? That meant marooning, being left on a deserted island with nothing but a pistol and 1 shot. Drawing weapons against a fellow pirate during a voyage? 40 lashes with the cat o' nine tails that could leave permanent scars and sometimes caused fatal infections. The pirate justice system represented a fascinating paradox. While remarkably democratic for their time, with elected captains, voting on major decisions, and guaranteed disability compensation, their punishments were medieval in their cruelty. Historical records from pirate trials describe specific cases like Edward England's crew marooning their captain for being too merciful to prisoners, or Bartholomew Roberts' men voting to execute a crew member for concealing captured jewels. The system worked because everyone understood the consequences, but it created an environment where a single mistake could end your life. Beyond the written code, pirate society operated on complex, unwritten rules that newcomers had to quickly learn. Sharing resources was mandatory. Hoarding food or water during shortages could get you killed. Respecting certain boundaries was crucial. While pirate ships were surprisingly tolerant regarding race and background, many crews were integrated. Violating personal space or challenging the wrong person could lead to deadly duels. The social hierarchy, while flatter than naval vessels, still required understanding who held influence and how to navigate ship politics without making enemies. The psychological pressure of living under this system was immense. You needed constant awareness of shifting alliances and potential conflicts while maintaining perfect adherence to both written and unwritten rules. Many pirates ultimately fell not to Navy bullets, but to their own crewmates' judgment when they violated some aspect of the code they'd forgotten or misunderstood. So the crucial question becomes, could your modern understanding of organizational psychology, conflict resolution, and social dynamics help you navigate this dangerous legal and social landscape? Would your knowledge of group behavior and communication strategies help you survive where so many fail to understand the delicate balance between pirate democracy and pirate justice? The answer may reveal whether contemporary social intelligence can trump historical brutal experience.
The fourth ultimate test: surviving when marooned or stranded on deserted Caribbean islands. While treasure maps and hidden coves seem romantic in fiction, the reality of being left with minimal resources and hostile environments represented one of the deadliest challenges pirates faced. When ships needed repairs, when crews mutinied, or when punishment required marooning, pirates confronted the raw brutality of nature unprepared. Imagine finding yourself on a tiny speck of land in the vast Caribbean with nothing but what you carried. Your first and immediate challenge would be fresh water. Many Caribbean islands lack natural freshwater sources, and what appears as inviting streams often contain saltwater intrusion or dangerous parasites. Historical accounts describe marooned pirates desperately digging wells, only to find brackish water that accelerated dehydration. Within 3 days without water in tropical heat, your cognitive functions would deteriorate rapidly, leading to hallucinations and ultimately organ failure. Your modern knowledge of solar stills or rainwater collection might provide temporary relief, but without containers and with irregular rainfall, survival beyond a week became statistically unlikely. The second critical survival element was food procurement. While coconut palms offered some nutrition, they grew predominantly on specific islands, and climbing them without equipment posed serious injury risks. The ocean, while teeming with life, proved deceptively difficult to harvest. Without fishing gear, pirates attempted to catch fish with makeshift spears or bare hands, usually with minimal success. More dangerously, many consumed unfamiliar fish species containing ciguatera toxin, leading to violent poisoning that often proved fatal. Land animals were scarce on most small islands, with only occasional seabirds or crabs available to those skilled enough to catch them. Malnutrition typically set within 2 weeks, weakening victims until they couldn't continue searching for food. But perhaps the most underestimated threat was medical. Tropical islands harbored diseases completely unfamiliar to European pirates. Mosquito-borne illnesses like malaria and dengue fever disabled and killed countless marooned sailors who had no natural immunity. Simple cuts from coral or rocks led to severe infections in the humid climate, with gangrene developing within days without proper treatment. Sun exposure caused severe burns and heat stroke, while psychological deterioration from isolation often led to fatal decisions like drinking seawater or swimming dangerous distances in desperation. Historical evidence from recovered pirate logs and rescue accounts paints a grim picture of marooning survival rates. Of pirates deliberately marooned as punishment, less than 20% survived more than 1 month. Even those left with some supplies typically perished within 3 months from the combination of dehydration, starvation, disease, and psychological collapse. The few successful survival stories invariably involve exceptional circumstances, like finding unexpected fresh water sources or being rescued by passing ships purely by chance. So the fundamental question emerges: would your contemporary survival knowledge, understanding water purification methods, recognizing edible plants and fish, applying modern first aid, actually translate into meaningful advantage in these extreme conditions? Or would the combination of environmental challenges and psychological pressure overwhelm any theoretical knowledge, as it did for most historical pirates faced with the same situation? Your answer might determine whether modern survival theory can conquer historical reality.
The fifth crucial survival element: navigating the complex social hierarchy of pirate society. Unlike the rigid class systems of European nations, pirate ships developed unique social structures that blended brutal meritocracy with carefully balanced power dynamics. Understanding and maneuvering through this social landscape often proved more critical to survival than any battle skill or sailing ability. At the top stood the captain, elected by majority vote and possessing absolute authority during chase and battle. However, this power came with severe limitations. In daily matters, the captain's vote counted equally with the lowest deckhand. Historical records show captains like Bartholomew Roberts could be challenged and replaced if they failed to produce sufficient plunder or endangered the crew unnecessarily. This delicate balance meant that respecting the captain's authority while knowing when to challenge it became a vital survival skill. The quartermaster represented the crew's interests and held perhaps the most complex role. This elected official distributed food and loot, settled minor disputes, and administered punishment.
His power often rivaled the captain's in daily affairs, and wise pirates understood that crossing the quartermaster could mean reduced rations or the most dangerous assignments. The quartermaster typically controlled the ship's finances and supplies, making him both protector and potential oppressor to ordinary crew members. Below these positions existed a sophisticated hierarchy of specialists. The sailing master navigated the ship. The gunner managed artillery. The carpenter performed emergency repairs, and the surgeon, when available, dealt with medical crises. Each specialist commanded respect and better compensation, but also faced higher expectations. A navigational error by the sailing master could mean missing vital landfalls, while the surgeon's failure often meant watching crewmates die from treatable conditions. Ordinary pirates occupied the bottom tier, but even here complex social rules applied. New recruits, or landmen, faced hazing and suspicion until proving their worth in battle or during storms. Experienced sailors, or seamen, enjoyed slightly better treatment, while veterans, or old hands, wielded influence beyond their official position. Crossing an old hand could mean finding yourself assigned to the most dangerous boarding parties or receiving the worst sleeping quarters. The multicultural nature of pirate crews added another layer of social complexity. Pirate ships were remarkably integrated for their time, with mixed-race crews commonly including escaped slaves, indigenous peoples, and sailors from various European nations. While this diversity created unprecedented social mobility, it also required navigating different cultural norms and communication styles. Historical accounts describe crews where Africans held positions of authority over Europeans and where religious tolerance extended to various spiritual practices, provided they didn't interfere with ship operations. This psychological pressure of this social environment cannot be overstated. Pirates needed constant awareness of shifting alliances, unspoken rules, and potential conflicts. A misunderstood comment, a perceived insult, or failure to show proper respect could escalate into deadly duels, or worse, being voted off the ship at the next port. Many pirates ultimately failed not because they lacked sailing skills or courage, but because they couldn't navigate the intricate social waters of pirate society. So the essential question becomes, could your modern understanding of organizational behavior, cross-cultural communication, and conflict resolution help you thrive? In this complex social environment, would your knowledge of group dynamics and leadership principles give you an advantage where so many historical pirates failed socially, even when they succeeded militarily? The answer may determine whether contemporary social intelligence can overcome historical social challenges.
So, could you have survived the golden age of piracy? Based on our analysis of ship conditions, naval combat, pirate codes, island survival, and social structures, a modern person's survival probability would be approximately 35%. Your greatest advantages would be medical knowledge and understanding of nutrition, while your biggest vulnerabilities would be psychological resilience and physical conditioning. If this pirate survival challenge ignited your curiosity about history's greatest tests of human endurance, make sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell. Every Thursday and Sunday, we explore new historical survival scenarios, from medieval knights to Roman legionaries, from Victorian factory workers to ancient Egyptian pyramid builders. Your subscription fuels our research and helps us uncover more fascinating historical truths. Comment below with your personal survival rating from 1 to 10 and tell us which historical era you'd want us to investigate next. Share this video with friends who love adventure and history. Let's discover together who among us could truly survive history's greatest challenges. Remember, history isn't just about dates and battles. It's about understanding human resilience against impossible odds. Join our growing community of history survivalists today.